What's going on, guys? Welcome to another one of BlackIRon's battles. Now, I know I haven't been around too much lately, but I hope you guys will forgive me. I've been just kind of trying to get everything back in place. I actually tried to record this battle for you guys live, but I didn't even have my OBS settings up right, and so I didn't get the sound. So I'm all moved into the rental house. I'm trying to get everything, just started on the rebuilding, starting to get the insurance stuff going, and it has been one hell of a challenge, I'll let you guys know. But we're back having fun. I hope you guys have seen me on Turin and Dov Plays and all the other guys' channels. I've been getting a lot of good 2 vs 2 and 3 vs 3 action going on, so there should be a lot more of that on the channel soon. But let me give you guys just a quick battle here we had going on the ladder, and I used Chaos, and I really like the way that it was set up, so I wanted to show it to you guys. Now, first off, I want to tell you why I did what I did. So I have some Chaos Marauders here with great weapons, and these 2 units are there to be cheap units on the flanks. The great weapons will allow those units to do okay against cavalry, and so I wanted to have them there mobile on the flanks to tie up those expensive cavalry and hopefully keep them from getting here to the center while I break through his infantry. Here in the front, you can see we've just got some really cheap Chaos Marauders. These units do have shields. They don't have a lot of armor, but if they can get up there, the whole reason they're in front like that is to use those shields to soak ranged fire. And it actually works out pretty well in this battle. Now, over here on the right flank, we do have 2 groups of Marauder Horsemen with throwing axes for their armor-piercing missile attacks. And we've also got 2 groups of these Chaos Poison Warhounds. And while they don't have anti-large, they are also not large units. So you are able to charge Chaos Poison Warhounds into infantry units who have charge defense against large. And they will get right through that and just do massacre damage, especially against units like the Spearmen and stuff like that. Since they only have charge defense against large, those Spearmen will take a charge right front ahead from those Chaos Poison Warhounds, so don't forget about that. We've also got the Mirror Guard here, those Regiment Renowned. I love the way they look. I mean, those purple and white Mohawks are so awesome. We've also got Prince Sigvald in here, surrounded by his Regiment of Renowned Mirror Guard, and we bring him just because he's so hard to kill. He's a great, he's got 65 melee attack, he's a great duelist, he's got 60 melee defense. When standard die is active, that's like 70 or 87 melee defense. I mean, even most people aren't going to be able to get up high enough to hit him very well. Plus the auric armor giving him the hit point regeneration. He is just super hard to take down. We've also got 2 groups of regular Chaos Warriors there on the flanks. They do have their shields. 100 armor. Those guys are just there to stand. They'll do some okay damage, okay defense, 36, 44. So, but the real killers here are going to be these Chosen with great weapons. Now, as you know, Chosen are the best of the best. The Chosen with great weapons, dollar for dollar, I think maybe some of the best infantry, if not the best infantry in the game. Those guys with their armor piercing, they'll cut through literally anything on the Empire roster. Last but not least, here in the back, we do have the Regiment Renowned Forsaken, the Demon Spew. Those guys are just so nasty. They've got poison attacks. They've got frenzy. These guys are just in there. I mean, they'll get in there and do some major work. Plus, they've got 46 speed, which is not too slow. So they are a little bit mobile. Here in the back, you can see, last but not least, Chaos Sorcerer with metal, and we do have Plague of Rust as well as Searing Doom and the metal shifting. So metal shifting makes it so that we do get that 10% armor piercing and weapon damage whenever we cast Plague of Rust, which, since it only costs 4 winds of magic, it'll be up very, very often. Over here for my Empire opponent, you see here on the right flank the Royal Outdwarf Gryphites over here, and these guys are definitely super strong. I mean, they cause terror. These guys, I mean, the Royal Outdwarf Gryphites, I mean, but they're not going to have a lot to do. Their anti-large attacks are not going to do super well. I mean, they can take off the throwing axes and stuff, but we don't have any big dragon ogres or anything for them to kill. Over here on this flank, you can see there's some Empire Knights, and these are the anti-infantry variants. So these guys will be really good. They'll be able to get in there with that 48 charge bonus. Although they're not very good in sustained combat, their charge bonus, if they can get in and out and you can micro them, they'll do really well. Here in the front, you'll see there's Tattersouls, Sigmar's Sons, and another group of Flagellants, and this is just like The thing about the Empire frontline is you are not going to compete with Chaos on the front line because your units are going to be so strong. So these units are just there. They're going to hold. You can tell none of these units will break. They're all unbreakable. So those guys will hold and allow the rest of these units to do the damage. Here in the back, you see one HellBlaster volley gun, and that thing is pretty awesome. It's even more accurate now since the patch, and it can do some good work on Chosen and stuff like that. See, there are some Empire greatswords. And the great swords with their armor piercing, although they can't compete with the Chosen, they still can get they can still get a few kills. We've also got spearmen on each flank. We've got Volkmar on his chariot here. Here you go. You can see him facing the wrong direction. He's already out of there. He's taken off, but he's got Grand Soulfire. He's got the Grand Shield of Faith, and he'll be able to he'll be able to get in there and do some pretty good work. I don't really have any halberds or anything like that to stop him, so but if I can get Sigvald on top of them, that'll be pretty damaging. He's also got a bright wizard over here, and you can see there he does have the burning head and flaming sword of rune, which are two spells that I pretty much pick a lot. That burning head won't do a lot against these heavily elite units, but it would it would do all right against a lot of chaff units and lightly armored units like that. He's also got these crossbowmen. And now these are going to be a problem. This is the one unit that's going to have a really hard time because there's a lot of shields, a lot of armor. The shields will make the crossbowmen have a problem, and so will the armored units. So they will have a really hard time getting damage done on a lot of these units. But they may be able to. I mean, not even the demon spew really, but they they may be able to do okay. So we'll see. Maybe they'll have them focus the Chaos Sorcerer or something. But I mean, even he's got 90 armor, so they're going to have a hard time finding where to go. But either way, we're going to have to get off, and we're going to have to go right away because we do not have any artillery ourselves. So you see these Chaos Marauders, they lead the way. I don't know how anyone ever becomes a Marauder champion because being a Chaos Marauder has got to be just one of the most painful. I mean, there's just so hard to survive through a battle, But at the same time, they're going to do okay. Over here on the right, we're going to start moving up, and you can see here that I have advanced everyone to kind of just start moving them ahead. And then at the same time, if you just move your units like that, you won't get the charge bonus. So you have to make sure and individually click your units and make sure that they are attacking where you want them to attack. You can also see here that we're trying to catch these outdoor Gryphites out as soon as we can. That would be the best possible thing for us if we can catch those outdoor Gryphites. See here, the Chaos Marauders are going to take a few shots, and that is perfect for me. We can take as many shots as we can on top of these cheap Chaos Marauders. You can see them getting knocked there. And that is exactly what we want. The Mirror Guard taking some hits. Oh man, over here we caught the outdoor Gryphites. You see here, but the Chaos Poison Warhounds, they don't have anti-large, but they're still in here. They're doing some pretty good damage, and the outdoor Gryphites, while they haven't lost any models, they're down like 2,000 health. So those guys have taken some pretty good damage. You can see those armor-piercing axes coming in, but before these spearmen get in there, I want to get out as soon as possible. So you can see the outdoor Gryphites are down to about half health, but we are dead even because we are taking huge damage. You can see tons of shots coming in at the crossbowmen. As long as the shots are coming in on top of those Chaos Marauders, I'm happy. You see here an overcasted Plague of Rust on top of the Empire Knights, which allowed these Chaos Marauders with great weapons just to cut into them. Although again, they didn't lose too many models. You can see a few horsemen cut down there, but they took some major damage to just a weak unit that you can tell they were not expecting. You can see here the Chaos Marauders are still getting cut down, but that allowed a lot of these other units a chance to approach. And over here on the flank, we're bringing back these ranged units. You can see some axes coming in, slamming into those outdoor Gryphites, and oh, here we go. You're gonna see a nice charge come in here. And you see, we do get a charge off because they are not large units. They're able to get in on top of those spearmen, but they'll have to get out pretty quickly. And then here in the front line, you'll see the Chaos Warriors are going to engage against those Tattersouls. And these Chaos Warriors and Mirror Guard, they will cut these Flagellants to pieces. These Flagellants are going to have a hard time. The Chaos Marauders, you see, have even made it. We've gotten in here. You can see Flaming Sword of Ruin is coming down, but we are also going to drop standard die because and there comes a big there you go, burning head. It's coming across there, but it is also doing damage to his units. let's go ahead and slow it down here so I can show you guys what's going on. Over here on the right flank, we can see we're kind of trying to tie down the outdoor Griffiths. We do have these Chaos Poison Warhounds on top of them, and we're doing some okay damage. They're down to 19 models, and you see one, actually, you can see them just jumping in here, jumping at the heels. They're slavering there. Oh my god. And if we can kill those outdoor Griffiths, that's just a huge problem for my opponent. The Marauder Horsemen, though, are not in a good place. They're engaged with those Spearmen, and those Spearmen will cut them down in just a few seconds. Here in the middle, the Chaos Marauders with great weapons against Spearmen was actually really good for us. They'll do really good and cut those Spearmen down really easily. Here in the back, you can see we are still chasing with the other group of great weapons, and that's good value for me. Those great weapons are cheaper than the Empire Knights, and we're still nice and fresh. So if we can cut down a few more of those before they charge in the back line here, that'd be pretty good. We go ahead and get it started here. You can see that we are trying our best. All I want to do is get into these crossbowmen. I want to make sure I attack them, but Sigmar's Sons and these Flatulence are starting to take some heavy hits, and you can see the Chosen are starting to be in here. Oh, Volkmar dropping some damage, but at the same time, the Grand Shield of Faith is activated, and he's doing everything he can to keep this front line alive. Here in the back, you can see the Empire Knights still coming in. On the left, we've got a lot of units that have been broken. Those Outdoor Griffiths won that flank, and the Chaos Marauders are still going to have to keep killing Spearmen for sure. Here in the back, you can see that HellBlaster volley gun is taking shots. Big Searing Doom coming down on top of the crossbowman. And at the same time, Volkmar the Grim has another Overcast Plague of Rust. You see, he's taking down to 1,500 health so quickly. The Chaos Sorcerer of Metal is charging in there behind him. We had a couple hits with Prince Sigvald, and if we can take Volkmar off the field, that'll be the ticket. So you can see here in the back, those Empire Knights are getting charged by the Chaos Marauders with great weapons. And when those Chaos Marauders get in there, they'll do some really good damage. They'll cut those Empire Knights down to size very quickly. There's another, you see, come right across there, but it did not do enough damage. We're actually starting to pull ahead. You can see here in the back that we've got Prince Sigvald on top of this HellBlaster volley gun, and the entire back line of the Empire units is pretty much compromised. You see here some Chosen with great weapons getting right on top of the crossbowmen. The Spearmen are finally falling. They did not kill enough of those Chaos Warriors. I mean, we knew they wouldn't. The Mirror Guard, though, did take some pretty heavy hits. The Tattersouls are almost gone, though, as well. And there's just not a lot of units remaining. All of our melee units got engaged right into the back with those crossbowmen. You can see here the Royal Outdoor Griffith broken, running past, only 3 units remaining. Volkmar here with another Plague of Rust on top of him, squaring off against the Chaos Sorcerer of Metal here. And you can see here, you can just see that, let's see that epic battle going off there. There we go, we'll toss out a screenshot. And that is that. Volkmar is about to die. His army routes around him. You can see there, we just did not take enough losses. So it was really hard for the Empire right now because of their infantry to take on something like a big wide infantry army with chaos. So you see here 100 kills on the Demon Spear. They were able to cut through whatever they touched. A lot of these units, the Chaos Marauders with great weapons tied up the Empire Knights. This unit actually managed to gain a chevron just by killing those Empire Knights. So that was great. He was able to use those the Royal Outdoor Griffiths and some of those Spearmen to deal with my Marauder Horsemen and my Chaos Poison Warhounds, but we were okay over on the right flank, and we were able to distract them long enough with those big units to allow us to get in and just kill as many of those frontline units as possible. They did not hold up. Look at this, 81 kills on this group of Chaos Marauders with great weapons, 69 on the Mirror Guard. I mean, 74, 60, just every unit with at least 50 or 60 kills. 146 on this group of Chosen. They got into some of those crossbowmen, and that is just every swing's a kill at that point. You can see this group, they did not even take any hits. I mean, they were still at full strength, ready to do damage. The Chaos Sorcerer of Metal, of course, was allowing us to, with that Overcasted Plague of Rust, he did allow us just to do great damage. We got a couple of Searing Dooms off on top of the crossbowmen as well. Since they're lightly armored, they're really good, and when you use the Searing Doom, you get that metal shifting as well to increase the damage and armor piercing of all of your guys. And so that's actually, we did okay. We were able able to harass the Altdorf Gryphites. We were able to just cut through the infantry, and it just really went exactly how we planned. Prince Sigvald was able to battle Volkmar when he was able to battle the Bright Wizard, and the Chaos Sorcerer is really strong, so you can easily use the Chaos Sorcerer of metal to kill a Bright Wizard, or you saw there even attack Volkmar. I mean, with if you give him, you know, Plague of Rust, if you put Plague of Rust on somebody, normally that Chaos Sorcerer with his heavy hits, he'll be able to cut right through. For my opponent, Steve Harvey, you can see there his Spearmen didn't quite make it. The Flagellants and the Tattersouls, while I get the idea of using the Unbreakable Frontline, there really wasn't anything that was able to do the damage. Like I said, the crossbows weren't able to find a good place, and we were able to keep his Knights and his Demigryph Knights. We were able to keep them, to a bare minimum. We were able to really move in close on that HellBlaster before it was able to do too much damage. And what damage it did do, I mean, you saw how much they killed those Chaos Marauders. It always makes me so happy when you have a cheap unit with shield up there that just gets slaughtered. I mean, it just makes me feel good. I mean, you see a few of them made it through, a few of them got into battle, so maybe they'll come back with great weapons next battle. Maybe they looted some, and they will continue their journey on to be Chaos Warriors and finally chosen. I want to thank all you guys so much for sticking with me through all these, hard times and stuff that have been going on. I know I don't get videos up every day like I hope, but, hopefully we're getting back to normal soon. And we've also got Blood Bowl 2 starting back up pretty quick here. I'll be getting out an announcement video regarding the signups and stuff for Season 2 of the Wild Hogs League there. And thank you guys all again for watching. Please click that little bell icon if you want to be notified whenever I do get a chance to put up a video. I've got a bunch of 2s coming up with Turn and Dov and Goji and Prof Pone and all these fun, I got some with Jonton. I've got all these great battles to put up, so I just need to find the time to record them, and hopefully it's before they put up the upcoming fix on Crone Hellbronze Sword. Either way, thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe for more great online content. This is BlackIRon, and this has been another one of BlackIRon's Battles.